Was your faith in your outlook ever shaken? Did you ever wake up at 3 a.m.? Did the demons ever come, Jeff? Were you scared? We were down in the 23. What? I'm talking fear again, but we were down in the 23s on the S&P. Did you ever think, holy crap, this is worse than I thought it was going to be? Were you shaken at all?
No, not at all. In fact, we called the top on this show, actually, on October 4th. The decline went lower than we thought it would go.
There you go.
We were wrong when we thought the October 29th low at 2,600 was the low, and admitted it in writing when you broke below that 2,603 October 29th low. But the 3 days of intense selling you saw in mid-December were about as bad as I've seen in 48 years in this business. That washout low was followed by two 90% upside days, where 90% of the total up-to-down volume came on the upside and 90% of the total points traded came on the upside. Joe, that's historically how lows are made. So I think the lows are in. I think they were made in mid-December.
Yeah. I mean, think about that. If you thought it was going to stop at 26 and went to 23 or 23, whatever it went to, 23.50. I mean, that was just wrong to do that on Christmas Eve. I don't know who was selling, but that was just wrong for people to do that. I'm still mad at the Grinch. The Grinch was selling, but you're right though. Then those snapbacks seem significant, Jeff. I don't know whether it means everything is in right now, but then this year's starting off a little bit better, especially we've had another we had a 700-point day again, and really not based, I don't know whether it changed the earnings outlook, but a couple of comments from Jay Powell and a jobs report, and here we are, and it feels better, doesn't it?
Yeah, last year we came into the new year. Everybody was way too bullish. We actually had a sell signal at the end of January of 2018. This year, everybody's come into January, in our opinion, way too bearish, given the fact that it looks like we made a significant low in mid-December.
Okay, so Jack, we've talked about, I remember back during the election, you weren't sure how things were going to work out. Did you ever get really bullish before you got bearish?
No,
you never
got hugely bullish.
Now, you're more bullish now than you have been in a couple of years.
Yeah, I would say more bullish now. Valuations here in the U.S., you could argue, are fair value. Maybe you have to squint a little bit, but it's probably pretty much close to fair value. International is downright cheap. I mean, emerging markets, if you take price to sales and project it out 3 years, you're looking at a 9% annualized return for the next 3 years based on history. So from that perspective, I think things are pretty good. I agree with Jeff. I mean, sentiment was near an all-time low going into this year, and sentiment was near an all-time high going into 2018. So, if in a market where it's an intersection of reality and expectations, it's great to have very low expectations. I learned that in high school.
What about your grades? Or
yeah, exactly. Prepared my parents for C's and
your dating life.
Prepared them for C's, and if I brought home B's, then hallelujah.
Okay. So you just said international is even way cheaper than U.S. So you would.
Yeah. So right now we're underweight pretty much everything, but what I'm going to do now is shift from U.S. small caps into international small caps. I'm going to shift probably from from U.S. large caps into emerging markets. I still would like to see a little more favorable momentum. I want to make sure that investors have actually recognized that emerging's cheap, because on a relative basis, emerging's been cheap for the last 3 years. So the relative strength of emerging's been pretty powerful for the last couple of months. It didn't share that October downtrend. If we can just get a little more relative strength in the international space. And also this year, I mean, if the Fed is really backpedaling, which I expect that they will, that's certainly not bullish for the dollar. And so you get a double whammy of the valuation plus the currency. Emerging could set up, and international could set up to do reasonably well this year.